So this club has literally broken me. Welcome to my reaction to Bournemouth 2, Forest 0. Hi guys, hope you're doing well and welcome to the annual defeat, or the biannual defeat, no, the dual annual defeat to Bournemouth. 1 down, 1 to go, and that's the last game of the season. As it finished, Bournemouth 2, Forest 0. Well, at least it wasn't 5-0 like last year. But do me a favour, if you can, please do hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well if you're new. We got a lot to talk about. We do. Thank you to all the well-wishers on my hand. Apparently, I've broken a bone in my hand. How, I don't know. It's probably Forest related, banging a wall or punching something or other. But it is what it is. But hit the like button, give me a little sympathy. I'm gonna not try and milk it. But let's get on with this. There's a lot to talk about. Yesterday's performance was diabolical. That first half was shambolic. And I was listening to Sean Dyche's post-match presser, and they're talking about tiredness. And like, I was calm after the match. I was like, all right, whatever, man. This club's already broken me this season. They've messed up big style. 3 managers this. We always win that and the other. And now in October, because I had to check, we're still in October. We are being told that professional footballers cannot handle 2 games a week / 3 games a week. You know, my heart bleeds for them. You got players like Gibbs-White on 150k plus. You've got players who have played well enough to then earn call-ups for their international teams. You got players who have not turned up for the last 2.5, 3 months for Forest. But we should be sympathetic towards players that haven't turned up because they're tired, because they put too much into that Porto game. This just unravels so many things. Okay, so if the players are tired, that means the recruitment in the summer wasn't good enough. But if the recruitment in the summer wasn't good enough, why were we told that Forest were buying almost 2 squads, 1 for the league, 1 for Europe, or at least once we got upgraded from the conference to Europa, that the squad was deep enough to play in both? If the players are so tired, then why are we not seeing someone like Hutchinson starting matches, who is going to be fresh, who hasn't had minutes, who can't play in the Europa League? Him, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Jair Cunha, all those players that we brought in, are they tired? So this excuse of tiredness, I'm not buying it. I kind of bought it a little bit towards the end of last season in the run-in, where our squad was thin, where you had Einar get injured, where you had Hudson-Odoi carrying an injury, etc., etc. But in October, that's one of the most pathetic excuses I've heard. So I'm not buying it. Are you buying it? Let me know in the comments. So let's talk about Sean Dyche. Look, my stance hasn't changed. Even after the Porto game on Sean Dyche, wasn't on my shortlist to get him. Didn't really want him anyway. But this game yesterday is not on him. I'm not judging him off 5-6 days, whatever it's been. You know, yes, we all got caught up in the stony, wony PR spin, Sean Dyche, apparently legend of the club and what have you. The reality is what happens on the pitch is important. Now, within that game yesterday, we started to see elements of Dyche ball. There was too much sideways and backwards passing. Bournemouth's press, as much as I don't like Bournemouth, I won't take away from how well organised they are, how oiled they are, especially in a press. And Forest were choked in the back so many times in the back line. And what would we do? We'd punt it long. And who are we punting it to? The Bournemouth defence, who are basically playing on the halfway line because there's absolutely no threat from Forest. And what's going to happen with that punted ball? It's going to come straight back to us. And that's what kept happening again and again and again. And that relentless pressure eventually causes cracks, like we saw for the second goal, where Anderson and Douglas Luiz basically tackled each other. And then you saw Milenkovic and Murillo, to a certain extent, backing off and letting the Bournemouth striker hit it from 25, 30 yards, wherever it was. That's all symptomatic of the setup Forest were playing. Too deep, too many long balls forward, and when we had possession, too much sideways and backwards. Now, I got told we had a better second half. We came out, we played better. Sean Dyche alluded to it in his press conference. Did we? Did we really? Or is this a bit like when we played Newcastle last season, when they were 3 or 4-0 up at half time, and we just saw them take their foot off the accelerator because Forest weren't going to get back into it. The problem with yesterday was I do feel that Bournemouth just sat back. Forest haven't scored. I can't remember. When was our last open play goal? Someone tell me. Have we even had one this season? Was it one of the Brentford goals? Such a distant memory, I can't even remember who scored them. So why would Bournemouth feel the need to overexert themselves in that second half? And what did we create? One shot from Gibbs-White? That's about it. That was about it. So for all this better so-called play that we saw in the second half, where was the end product? Where was it? So that was frustrating. And then individual player errors and poor performances are getting to the stage where they need to be called out. Now, this isn't one I ever thought I would need to call out or want to call out, and that is Matt Sells. Matt Sells, Golden Glove winner last season. Matt Sells letting the ball into his own net almost twice. I think he should have done better on the second goal. And on the first goal, if it is a shove or not, it doesn't matter. He still made a play to kind of flick the ball over the bar, and just hand-eye coordination was way off. And if that's such an issue, I keep saying this, why are Forest the only club in the Premier League, when they defend corners, do not put a player between the goalkeeper and the attacker to cause that buffer zone? So Matt Sells isn't the one who's trying to push the player off or wrestle with that player. Now, could that have been given as a foul? Maybe. It was never a corner. Okay, but there's been so many decisions we've seen just in the last 12 months where Forest have been screwed by decisions, and then we sit there complaining about it after. The problem is that once the corner is awarded, organise yourselves up. We were told under Sean Dyche, corners will be addressed straight away. Dead balls will be addressed straight away. Well, we've already gone and conceded another one. So Matt Sells maybe needs to be, I was going to say, put out the limelight, but let's just call it what it is, dropped. And it's a shame because I thought he played really well against Porto. And I think even within that Bournemouth match, he made 1 or 2 really good saves. But the mistakes are starting to add up. They really are. And it is worrying, to say the least. And I said it on the player ratings yesterday. No one bar Nico Williams should be paid this week. No one. None of them. None of them. All their wages should go to refunding the away fans, not just for the tickets, but for the cost. Bournemouth isn't exactly, in the Nottinghamshire county, is it? It's a long old drive. And to put that crap performance out in the first half is frankly pathetic. It really is. Now, yes, there's this whole voodoo over Forest and Bournemouth 2015 and all that. And, we continue it on now into 2025. And probably into 2026 when we play them the final game of the season. And the question really has to be, where will Forest be on that final day of the season? Will we have sorted this absolute crap show out yet? Or will that game be one of survival? Because as much as I've dug my head into the sand, the table doesn't lie. We're now technically adrift of a win getting us out of the bottom 3. We have a bottom 3, by the way, that's occupied by clubs that Nuno has managed. I don't know why I'm telling you that stat. I just noticed it as I looked at it. Wolves, West Ham and Forest, all linked by Nuno. And a lot of people still going back to this Nuno thing. Should have kept Nuno and what have you. The problems run deeper than that. It's really clear to see now. This includes Marinakis. This includes Edu. This includes George Sirianos. But this includes, more than anyone else, the players. The players, for me, are getting away with absolute murder. I'm not buying the tiredness excuse. I'm not buying that they can't get themselves up for a game. How dare they not get themselves up for a game? Sean Dyche said he had to make 3 subs because it looked flat. Why is it flat? The players told us, we heard Morgan Gibbs-White saying, I feel like I can breathe now. What did you do in that game yesterday? Just hold your breath the whole time? You gone back to not being able to breathe? Do you need a breathing exercise coach or something? Where was the breathing yesterday? This is not acceptable at all. That squad, on paper, you line them up and you think to yourself, on paper, on form, how many of the Bournemouth players get into that Forest team? A Bournemouth team that had 3 of their backline taken away from them in the summer. They lost their keeper as well. And they've brought in a backline that looks more cohesive than Forest one does. And as a Forest team that basically have a centre-back pairing that should know each other inside out, 3 of them with Nico Williams as well, have played more than enough games together. Savona, okay, you can say is new. But are we saying we break one link in this team and that's it? It collapses because technically you got Chris Wood out injured, Bakwa out injured, and who else? Zinchenko. Excuse me. Like out of those 3, who gets in the team? Chris Wood wasn't in good form. Zinchenko is one of the worst left backs I've ever seen, and Bakwa, well, he hasn't started well at Forest. So where's the depth now? Where's the depth now? Where has that 200+ million pounds gone from the summer? And why are we not seeing it produce results on the pitch? This is now a crisis point for Forest. They better damn well sort this out. It is on the players. They've got a week now to do this whole training thing, this magical stuff that happens on the training pitch that never seems to correlate into any kind of results on the pitch. But they got a whole week of training now. Let's see what happens against Man U. I am not happy right now with Forest. I'm drugged up as well because of my arm. But you guys are going to say this is a negative video. Cool. But the negativity is stemming from what we're seeing on the pitch. I'm not creating those performances. Those players are. This is not Sean Dyche's fault. Yesterday was on the players. Get your thoughts in. We'll be back for Grumpy Old Reds tonight at about 7. Please do hit the like button if you haven't already. Make sure you're subscribed if you're new. Come on, you Reds.